Do you guys have a favorite song on Alive or Just Breathing? Or maybe can you guys rank your 5 favorite Alive or Just Breathing tracks?
Oh boy.
God, I don't even remember what's on that record.
Want me to listen?
I've got a soft spot for Rise Inside. I think just because it's kind of got this really, again, positive lyrical content, which is very derivative of Bob Marley. I could say I was easily listening to a ton of Bob Marley and probably ripped off stuff. The phrase that he used, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds, is a direct result of listening to that song and writing Rise Inside. Just Barely Breathing. I love it because it's the epic song of that whole album. And it's a very sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Contemplative of existence. You know, it's really, I'm can't think of the word, but you know what I'm talking about when you're wondering why we're here. Why are we alive? What's going on? That sort of like, that state of mind. I love that song as well. Those are the two that come off the top of my head that I love off that record.
How about you, Adam?
I'll go with his answers.
Well, there's so many great riffs on that record. Like really fucking good riffs.
Well, you have to say.
What about your 5
I guess,
favorite riffs?
I could probably say Last Serenade because that was the song that kind of put us on the map. You know, it did so much for the beginning of our career.
Yeah, the riffs and that, the intro, I remember first hearing that and being like, wow, that's like Bad Brains quickness. Like it's got that, or Sam Black Church, you know, that stomp riff that has the space in it. I love that shit. I still love that riff. That's a great riff.
I was listening to a lot of Sam Black Church and Bad Brains back then. So,
hell yeah, dude. Self Revolution's another good one, I think, and especially with like the percussion that goes on in there. That really hadn't been done much in metal and hardcore, from what I know, like bongos and congas and whatever was going on there. Number Days. I mean,
yeah,
the fact that it kicks off and there's that space, and we're like, what do we say? Like, what do we say during that spot? It's such a good hardcore thing. Like the music stops and you say something. And I don't remember how we came up with it, but I'm sure it was Adam and I discussing it. But when it says the time approaches, it kind of sets the album going. Like you just go from that phrase on. To me, it's a powerful first song. And the lyrics are very sort of dark and, you know, angsty. That song and the riffs on that one. I remember, quick story, when we first played Number Days live, when we were still kind of working it out, we'd opened for this great band, Burned by the Sun, for the old school heads who remember what a killer band they were. And we played that song for the first time somewhere in Connecticut. I think it was Connecticut or New Jersey. And I was headbanging so hard, I actually hit the top of my eye on my knee and almost knocked myself out. I remember seeing stars and like getting weak, and I had a knot on my head for weeks after that. But it was just that riff that when Number Days kicks in, oh, it's so heavy. I love that.
I love that breakdown on Vita Infra too. Vita, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Vita Infra, yeah.
Yeah, that breakdown, the lyrics. I love that.
The mosh part too, man. Yeah. That's got a riff, dude. Oh my, are you kidding me? The riffs in that. This is a Joel song. Didn't Joel write that one, Adam?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, hard to remember. Fun record.
What about favorite songs to play live? What songs do you guys still play live from that album?
Serenade every night, just about, right?
Yeah, just because, you know, like I was saying, that was an important song in our career. We'll trickle in some stuff. We were doing Rise Inside for a while.
Yeah, Life to Lifeless, we played a ton when I first rejoined.
I'm so tired of playing that song.
Yeah, we had to put it on the shelf for a while. We played it a lot.
Yeah,
it gets the crowd going. That speaking of riffs, that riff when it kicks in with that straight up rock riff, like you see the crowd, especially at festivals, you know, they do the European bounce. So that was a fun one to play at festivals. And we definitely played Just Barely Breathing in the past few tours. And I love song comes up in the set because it starts off quiet and we actually able to take a breather, and the audience calms down, and it builds up to that part when it kicks in. I love that, playing that song live. It's super fun. And the way it ends too. It kind of like starts off quiet and kind of goes quiet.
Yeah, I love that ending. I love that whole song. It's really
that song's too long.
Oh, that's why I like it. See, that's why I like it. Long songs are okay, man.
Hurry up and get the blast beats.
Are there any songs on the album you guys have never played live?
No, we played through all of those.
We did the anniversary tour, right?
Yeah. So we played through all.
So we played the whole record.
That's awesome. I wish I could have seen that.
That was with Shadows Fall too. It was like us, Shadows Fall, and Akaro, this band that doesn't exist anymore that were great. Yeah, it was a fun tour.
What about kind of the band's trajectory and all the albums to come after Alive or Just Breathing? How is that record in particular, the success of it, or even just like how it defined the band's style? How did that inform the albums to come, especially after you came back to the fold, Jesse? It really just seems like you kind of picked up where you left off. Like, I don't know, like how did it form? Even other projects you guys did, like I love the Times of Grace stuff. Like how did Alive or Just Breathing kind of pave the way for what you guys would do going forward?
I don't know. I think it's definitely a bit more of an immature record of ours. I think we're playing more riffs now. So I think naturally we grew as players. And I think obviously Jesse learned how to sing. So like back in the day, it's so funny thinking about making that record. Like I pushed him so hard. He'd be like, he wouldn't be able to talk for like 2 days afterwards. And you can hear it. Like Jesse's like going for it on that record with all of his screaming. And maybe I was partially the reason you had to quit the band because you learned how to scream the wrong way and would just torch your fucking throat every show we'd play. I'm glad you relearned how to scream and not kill yourself. But you can just hear it on the Ferret record and Alive or Just Breathing, just like really just torching your throat, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So well, I guess we just learned how to do our, play our instruments better from that record, from doing that record, I guess, right?
It did sort of set the standard higher too, because you saw the impact those songs had because of the way they were crafted, which, when you're writing a good song is a good song. It doesn't matter the genre or the style. So I would say, I think from that record on, myself, as I moved forward outside of Killswitch, what I had learned from working with Adam and Joel and just the way that to craft this song and Mike D is that had an impact on me for anything I did after that, whether it be Seamless or The Empire Shall Fall. At the end of our recording sessions, I would have that mind of like, is this a good song? So songwriting to me was huge after that record. That's when I recognized, because you went from bands like Overcast, and I would say Aftershock still had good songwriting in it though. And Corinne, my band Corinne, we were just riff after riff. It wasn't really about like songwriting per se. It was almost like check our riffs out. Like we're evil 666 devilcore. Like, oh, shit's crazy. There wasn't much thought of like, oh, we're going to create a nice song for people that you'll remember it. You'll be humming it. And after Alive or Just Breathing, that kind of like stuck. It was like, oh, you can be in this genre and still craft a really good song.
I'm a sucker for a good arrangement.